What if I told you that at this very moment, as you watch this video, a divine force is working behind the scenes of your life? What if I revealed that God is preparing something so great, so abundant for you, Aquarius, that it will completely transform your financial reality? Well, that's exactly what's happening now. The universe does nothing by chance, and you've come this far because you need to hear this message. There is a divine prediction of wealth and abundance coming to Aquarius, and I will show you all the signs that prove that this moment is closer than you imagine. If you were born under the sign of Aquarius, get ready, because the heavens are aligning in your favor in a way that rarely happens. This is no longer an empty promise or a distant wish. It is a spiritual certainty, confirmed by celestial movements and the blessings that have already begun to manifest in your life. You may not have noticed yet, but small signs are already appearing. That unexpected opportunity, that important phone call, that brilliant idea that came out of nowhere. All of this is part of a bigger plan that God is orchestrating especially for you. And most importantly, you don't have to do it alone. Divine strength is with you, guiding every step, opening every door, preparing every path. Stay until the end of this video because I'm going to reveal exactly what's coming, when it will happen, and what you need to do to receive everything that has been prepared for you. Aquarius, your financial life will never be the same again. Truth 1. Heaven is preparing your greatest financial harvest. Aquarius, you need to understand something very important about this moment in your life. The universe works in cycles, and you are entering one of the most favorable cycles someone of your sign can experience in many years. God isn't just promising you abundance. He is literally moving pieces on the chessboard of your life, so that wealth comes to you in ways you can't even imagine yet. You know those moments when you look back and realize that everything made sense? That every difficulty, every challenge, every moment of scarcity was just preparing you for something much bigger? Well, that's exactly what's happening now. All that struggle you faced, all those bills that seemed impossible to pay, all those moments when you wondered if things would get better. All of that was planting seeds in the soil of your life. And now the harvest season has arrived. The stars are positioning themselves in a very specific way, creating energetic openings that will allow prosperity to flow to you without blockages. This is not luck, it's not coincidence. It's the result of a divine plan that has always been underway, even when you couldn't see it. Aquarius is known for being visionary, for thinking differently, for seeing possibilities where others see only obstacles. And it is precisely this innovative nature that will attract wealth now. Because God values those who dare to dream, who are not content with the ordinary, who believe in something greater. You are about to be rewarded for all your faith, for all your persistence, for all the moments you continued to believe even when it seemed impossible. The abundance that is coming is not small. It is not something that will only solve the problems of the moment. It is something that will completely change the level of your financial life. We are talking about opportunities that will multiply your earnings, doors that will open in areas you weren't even considering, important people who will cross your path bringing valuable proposals. And you know what's most incredible? You won't need to wear yourself out to achieve this. You won't need to sacrifice your health, your peace, your time with those you love. The abundance that God is preparing comes in a fluid, natural way, like a river that finally finds its free path to run. Pay attention in the coming days. Observe the synchronicities, those moments when you think of something and it happens soon after. Notice when people mention opportunities, when unexpected invitations arise, when you feel that strong impulse to act in a certain direction. All of these are signs that the harvest is beginning. And most importantly, don't let doubt or fear stop you from reaping. When opportunity knocks, you need to be ready to open the door. God is bringing abundance, but you need to reach out to receive it. Truth 2. Your financial struggles ended by divine decree. The time has come for you to understand something powerful, Aquarius. The financial difficulties you faced were not punishment, not a lack of ability, not proof that you don't deserve prosperity. They were simply a phase, a period of preparation that is now officially over. There is a divine decree over your life, a celestial order that is ending the cycle of scarcity and opening the cycle of abundance. And when God decrees something, no force in the universe can prevent it from being fulfilled. You have spent too much time worrying about money, too much time looking at your bank account and feeling that tightness in your chest, too much time having to choose between one thing and another because you didn't have enough for both, too much time postponing dreams, swallowing desires, settling for less than you deserve. But that time is over. I'm not saying it's over because you're working harder, or because you found a new strategy, or because you finally discovered the secret to financial success. I'm saying it's over because God decided it's over. And when divine will moves in your favor, everything changes. The doors that were locked open. People who previously ignored you are now starting to seek you out. Opportunities that seemed impossible are suddenly becoming reality. You, Aquarius, have a special connection with higher powers. Your sign is governed by energies of transformation, renewal, and breaking old patterns. And that's exactly what's happening in your financial life right now. Old patterns of scarcity, limitation, and difficulty are being broken. In their place, new patterns of abundance, ease, and prosperity are being established. This means things will start to flow differently for you. That constant feeling of struggle, of effort, of swimming against the tide will give way to a feeling of fluidity, synchronicity, of being in the right place at the right time. You will begin to realize that things are falling into place on their own. A casual conversation will lead to a business opportunity. Knowledge you possessed but didn't value will become a source of income. A skill you developed purely for pleasure will attract people willing to pay well for it. And all of this won't seem forced or difficult. It will flow naturally, as if it was always meant to be this way. But I need you to understand one important thing. This divine decree ending financial struggles requires one thing from you: that you accept it. It seems simple, but many people have as much difficulty accepting abundance as they do accepting scarcity. You need to allow yourself to prosper. You need to allow yourself to receive. You need to allow yourself to have more than the basics, more than enough, more than you've ever had. Because God isn't just offering you enough to survive. He's offering you enough to live fully, to fulfill dreams, to help those you love, to make a difference in the world. So when abundance begins to arrive, don't sabotage it. Don't start feeling guilty. Don't look for reasons not to deserve it. Don't self-sabotage thinking it's too good to be true. Accept it as a blessing that has always been yours by divine right. Truth 3. The universe is conspiring in your favor financially. Aquarius, at this very moment, as you listen to these words, a cosmic conspiracy is unfolding. And it's not a conspiracy against you, as it may have seemed during some difficult times in your life. It's a conspiracy in your favor. All the forces of the universe, all the celestial energies, all the invisible powers that govern abundance are uniting to direct wealth towards you. This may seem mystical or distant from reality, but it's much more concrete than you imagine. This divine conspiracy manifests itself in coincidences that are not coincidences. It manifests itself in people who appear in your life bringing exactly what you need. It manifests itself in opportunities that arise at the perfect moment. It manifests itself in ideas that sprout in your mind as if they came from another dimension. And all of this is increasing in intensity now. The coming months will be marked by a sequence of events favorable to your prosperity that will make you look back and realize that it wasn't by chance. It was divine planning. You know, when you think of someone and then that person calls you with a proposal? When you need information and someone mentions exactly that subject? When you're considering a decision and receive a clear sign of the path to follow? All of this will intensify. You will live in a state of constant synchronicity, where things simply fall into place perfectly. And this isn't a magical experience reserved for a lucky few. It's the natural state of someone aligned with the divine flow of abundance. Aquarius has a very special characteristic: the ability to connect with higher dimensions of consciousness. You've always known there's more to life than meets the eye. You've always felt you're part of something bigger, a broader purpose. And it's precisely this connection to the invisible that's allowing you to pick up the universe's messages now. Every intuition you have about money, every impulse to act in a certain direction, every feeling that something good is coming, all of this is direct communication from the divine source guiding you towards abundance. But here's the secret few understand. This cosmic conspiracy in your favor doesn't work if you stand still waiting for everything to fall from the sky. It works when you move in sync with the signals you receive. When you act on your intuition, when you follow the impulses that make your heart race, when you say yes to opportunities even if they don't seem perfect. The universe is bringing opportunities, but you need to take the steps. It's opening doors, but you need to walk through them. It's planting the seeds, but you need to water and nurture them so they grow. And believe me, you have all the necessary capacity for this. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to fully understand the plan. Just trust the process and move when you feel the calling. In the coming times, pay special attention to your dreams. Aquarius has a strong connection with the world of dreams, and it is often during sleep that important messages about the future reach you. Write down your dreams, reflect on them, look for symbols and messages. You may receive valuable guidance on where to invest, who to partner with, what project to develop. And also pay attention to the people who cross your path. Not all come with good intentions, but those who come sent by divine force will bring a different energy. You'll feel a connection, an ease of communication, a sense that this person was destined to appear in your life at that moment. These are the right people for your business partnerships, your financial projects, your ventures. If this message resonated with your zodiac sign, trust me, it's no coincidence. When the universe wants to speak to you, it sends exactly the right signal, and you're here because you needed to hear this today. Your contribution as a subscriber or member is what keeps these messages alive, messages that touch, awaken, and transform lives. And if this video made sense to you, leave your birth date in the comments. Now let's continue with our video. Truth 4. Your unique talents will turn into gold. Have you ever stopped to think, Aquarius, that you might have been sitting on a gold mine without realizing it? Those talents you possess, those skills that seem to come so naturally to you that you don't even consider them special, are exactly what will attract abundance into your life now. God doesn't create anyone without a purpose, and He definitely doesn't create anyone without the necessary resources to prosper. What happens is that we often don't value what we have that is most precious because it comes too easily. You Aquarius possess unique gifts. You have a way of thinking that is different from most. You can see solutions where others only see problems. You have innovative ideas that arise in your mind as if someone were whispering in your ear. You can connect with people in an authentic and profound way. You have creative skills that can manifest in various areas. And all of this, absolutely all of this, has value in the market. There are people looking for exactly what you have to offer. The problem is that you may never have stopped to organize these skills in a way that could generate income. Or perhaps you even tried, but not at the right time or not in the right way, or simply the divine time for it to flourish hadn't yet arrived. But now it has arrived. The divine time to transform your talents into gold has come. And this will happen in ways you can't even imagine. Someone might discover your work and want to pay very well for it. You might start teaching something you know how to do and realize there's a huge demand. One of your skills might become a trend and suddenly everyone is looking for someone who can do exactly what you've always done. The possibilities are endless because the universe is infinite in its capacity to create paths to prosperity. But I need you to understand something fundamental. Your talents won't turn into gold if you keep them hidden. It won't do any good to have the gift if you don't share it with the world. It won't work to have the skill if you don't put it into practice. God gave you the tools, but you need to use them. And that may mean stepping out of your comfort zone. It may mean exposing yourself a little more, showing your work to people, offering your services, sharing your ideas. Many Aquarians have a certain resistance to self-promotion. They believe that their work should speak for itself, that things should happen naturally without them needing to strive to be seen. And while it's true that quality work eventually stands out, you can greatly accelerate this process by taking the initiative to showcase yourself. Think of it this way. If you have a talent that can help someone, benefit someone, transform someone's life, it's not selfish to publicize that talent. It's generosity. It's service. It's fulfilling your divine purpose of using your gifts for good. And when you do this with pure intention, when you put your talents at the genuine service of others, abundance comes as a natural consequence. Because you're not just seeking money, you're adding value, solving problems, improving people's lives. And the universe always rewards those who contribute positively. So look at yourself with new eyes. Stop minimizing your abilities. Stop thinking that what you do isn't a big deal just because it comes easily to you. Precisely because it comes easily to you is what makes it special. It means you have a natural gift in that area. And there are people out there, probably many people, who need exactly what you have to offer and are willing to pay for it. In the coming months, you will begin to see doors opening to monetize your talents. These could be job offers, partnership proposals, clients appearing out of nowhere, opportunities to sell your products or services. Don't reject these opportunities out of fear or insecurity. Trust that if they are appearing, it's because you are ready. God doesn't send opportunities ahead of time. When they arrive, it's because you have everything you need to take advantage of them. Truth 5. Money will come from unexpected directions. Aquarius, prepare yourself for one of the most exciting truths about the abundance that is coming your way. Money won't just come from obvious places, from known sources, from the paths you were already following. It will come from completely unexpected directions, in ways that will surprise you, from sources you weren't even considering. And this is a hallmark of when God is working in someone's financial life. Because God is not limited to common means. He can make abundance spring forth from anywhere at any time in the way He chooses. Have you ever had that experience of receiving money when you least expected it? That forgotten payment that appears, that opportunity that arises from a distant acquaintance, that unexpected financial gift? Well, this will become frequent in your life. The universe will use all available channels to make wealth flow to you. And the less you try to control exactly how it will happen, the easier it will be. Because when you become too fixated on a single way of making money, you end up blocking all the other ways that could be available. Aquarius has a natural advantage in this aspect. You are naturally open to the unusual, the different, the unexpected. You don't have that need that other signs have for everything to be predictable and controlled. You actually enjoy it when things happen in surprising ways. And this open-mindedness is exactly what will allow you to receive abundance from multiple sources. I'll give you some examples of how this can manifest in your life. That old project you had given up on might suddenly come to life and start generating returns. Someone from your past might reappear with a lucrative proposal. You might discover that you are entitled to something you didn't even know you were entitled to. A hobby of yours might turn into a source of income. You might gain something of value that you can convert into money. A random idea you had might become a profitable business. The possibilities are literally endless. And the most interesting thing is that many of these sources of income can be passive or semi-passive. In other words, you won't need to exchange time for money all the time. You will create systems, products, or situations that generate continuous returns with an initial investment of effort. This is extremely aligned with the energy of Aquarius, which values freedom and dislikes being tied to rigid routines. But for these unexpected directions to bring you money, you need to be attentive, because opportunities can appear disguised. They can come through a casual conversation, a random comment, an invitation you were thinking of refusing, a situation that seems to have nothing to do with money but will lead to it. So keep your mind open and your perception sharp. When someone makes a suggestion, consider it carefully. When an opportunity arises that is different from what you were expecting, don't reject it immediately. When a path appears that you hadn't planned, be willing to explore it. Because God rarely acts exactly as we plan. He acts in better, bigger, more creative ways than we can imagine. And another important thing, don't compare your financial journey to other people's. What works for someone may not work for you, and vice versa. Each person has their own unique path to abundance, determined by their talents, personality, and life purpose. And your path, Aquarius, will be as unique as you are. It will involve innovation, creativity, unusual connections, and original ideas. It won't be the traditional path, and that's okay. In fact, it's better that it isn't. Because traditional paths are already saturated. But the innovative paths you will discover are full of unexplored opportunities. Truth 6. Your faith will materialize the wealth you desire. The time has come to talk about the most powerful ingredient of all in manifesting abundance, Aquarius. And that ingredient is your faith. I'm not necessarily talking about religious faith, although for many that's also part of it. I'm talking about faith as a creative force, as inner certainty, as a deep conviction that something is true even before it manifests on the physical plane. This is the faith that moves mountains, that transforms realities, that materializes wealth. And you are being called now to activate this faith at a level you may never have activated before. Because it's not enough to hear that abundance is coming. It's not enough to intellectually understand that you deserve wealth. You need to truly believe deep in your soul, with every cell of your body, that prosperity is already yours. When you have true faith, you don't anxiously wait for things to happen. You relax knowing they are already on their way. You don't desperately try to force results. You trust in divine timing. You are not shaken by temporary obstacles. You know they are part of the process. And this tranquility, this certainty, this inner peace that comes from true faith is what creates the magnetic field that attracts wealth to you. Aquarius, you have a special relationship with faith because your sign is connected to the future, to that which does not yet exist but which you can envision. You have always been able to believe in possibilities that others dismiss as impossible. You have always managed to maintain hope when circumstances said otherwise. You have always had this ability to look beyond what is and see what can be. And now you will use this natural ability to your advantage in creating your financial reality. I'm going to teach you something powerful. Your current reality is the result of the beliefs you had in the past. What you believed a year ago, 6 months ago, 3 months ago about money, about your ability to prosper, about what was possible for you, all of that shaped the financial situation you live in today. And this means that the beliefs you choose to have now will shape your future financial reality. If you choose to believe in scarcity, in difficulty, in impossibility, you will continue to create more of the same. But if you choose to believe in abundance, in ease, in endless opportunities, you will begin to create a completely different reality. And the best news is that you have total control over what you choose to believe. Not over external circumstances, at least not immediately, but over your internal beliefs. And it is these internal beliefs that eventually transform external circumstances. So how do you strengthen your faith in abundance? First, you stop feeding thoughts of scarcity. Every time your mind starts to wander to financial worries, to fears about not having enough, to anxiety about the future, you consciously redirect those thoughts. It's not about denying reality, it's about not giving it power. Second, you begin to affirm abundance even before you see it. You speak as if it's already real, you feel as if it's already manifested, you act like someone who already has the wealth they desire. This is not falsehood, it's faith in action. Third, you give thanks for the abundance that is already on its way. Anticipatory gratitude is one of the most powerful forms of faith. When you give thanks for something before you receive it, you are declaring to the universe that you know you will receive it. And the universe responds to that certainty. And fourth, you act based on faith. You make decisions like someone who knows abundance is coming. You invest in yourself, seize opportunities, take steps towards your dreams, even if you don't yet have all the necessary money. Because faith without action is empty, but action based on faith is powerful. In the coming times, you will be tested in this faith several times. Situations will arise that will try to make you doubt, circumstances that will seem to contradict everything you are hearing here. But these are just tests. The universe is checking if your faith is real, if you truly believe, or if it was just superficial hope. Pass these tests by maintaining your unwavering conviction, and you will see the accelerated materialization of wealth in your life. Truth 7. Divine partnerships will multiply your income. Aquarius, one of the most powerful ways God will use to bring abundance into your life is through people. You weren't created to prosper alone. You were created to be part of a divine network of connections where each person has something to offer and something to receive. And at this moment in your life, very special partnerships are being orchestrated behind the scenes of the universe. People who will enter your life bringing opportunities, resources, knowledge, contacts, and possibilities that will multiply your ability to generate income. These are not ordinary partnerships. They are divine partnerships, that is, connections that were planned in the spiritual realm even before they happened in the physical realm. You know when you meet someone and immediately feel that that person will be important in your life? When there's instant chemistry, ease of communication, a feeling that you already knew each other even though it's the first meeting. These are hallmarks of divine partnerships. And you will experience several of these connections in the coming months. They may be business partnerships, where you combine complementary talents to create something greater than either one could create alone. These can be mentorship partnerships, where someone more experienced guides you and opens doors that would take you years to open on your own. They can be investment partnerships, where someone believes in your potential and provides resources for you to develop your projects. They can be referral partnerships, where someone connects you with the right people who will hire your services or buy your products. The forms are many, but the result is always the same: multiplication. Because when two or more people come together with aligned purpose, the result is not just the sum of the parts, it's the multiplication of possibilities. Aquarius has a natural talent for making interesting connections between different people and ideas. You like to mix groups, introduce people to each other, and build bridges between worlds that wouldn't normally meet. And this ability of yours will be fundamental now, because many financial opportunities will come precisely from these connections that you facilitate. You may not realize it at the moment, but by connecting person A with person B, you may be planting the seed of an opportunity that will benefit you as well. The universe has mysterious ways of rewarding those who help create valuable connections. Just as not everyone who comes into your life is there by positive chance, not every proposed partnership is a divine partnership. You need to develop discernment to know how to differentiate. Divine partnerships will bring you peace, even if they are challenging. They will make sense deep in your soul, even if they don't make logical sense on paper. They will energize you, not exhaust you. They will be based on transparency and honesty, not on vague promises or schemes that seem too good to be true. Trust your intuition to identify these partnerships. Aquarius has a very sharp intuition when connected to their higher self. You can feel people's energies, perceive hidden intentions, and pick up signals that others don't. Use this sensitivity to your advantage. If something doesn't seem right, even if you can't explain exactly why, trust that feeling. On the other hand, if something seems right, even if it seems risky or unknown, trust that too. Another important characteristic of divine partnerships is that they will challenge you to grow. They won't always be comfortable. They will take you out of your comfort zone. They will demand that you develop new skills. They will put you in situations where you need to trust other people. But it is precisely this growth that will allow you to reach levels of abundance that would be impossible if you always stayed within the known. And remember, true partnership is based on reciprocity. It's not just about what you can receive, but also about what you can give. Enter into these connections with a spirit of genuine contribution. Ask yourself how you can add value, how your talents can benefit the partnership, how you can help the other person achieve their goals as well. Because when you enter into a partnership with the intention of mutual gain, with a genuine desire to see everyone prosper, you activate a powerful spiritual force that guarantees the success of the partnership. Truth 8. You will prosper by helping other people. Aquarius, there's a secret about wealth that few truly understand, and you're about to discover and experience this truth deeply. The secret is this: real, lasting, and blessed abundance comes when you prosper by helping others. It's not about selfishly accumulating. It's about being a channel of blessings. The more you use your resources, talents, and opportunities to benefit others, the more the universe provides you so you can continue being that channel. It's an infallible spiritual law. You, Aquarius, naturally have a humanitarian heart. You care about the collective good, not just individual well-being. You find satisfaction in contributing to greater causes. You like knowing that your existence makes a positive difference in the world. And this generous nature of yours is exactly what will be the foundation of your prosperity now. I'm not saying you need to give away everything you have or live in poverty to help others. On the contrary, I'm saying that when you build your wealth on a foundation of genuine service, when your goal in earning money includes being able to help more people, when you see abundance as a responsibility rather than just a privilege, you activate a kind of divine blessing that doesn't come in any other way. Think about the most successful businesses in the world. Almost all of them solve some real problem for people, make someone's life better in some way, offer genuine value. And that's why they thrive. Money is just the natural consequence of serving well. So when you're thinking about how to generate more income, start by asking, how can I help? What problem can I solve? What need can I meet? What value can I offer? And the answers to these questions will lead you straight to opportunities for abundance. You can help people by sharing knowledge you have and they need. You can help by offering a service that makes their lives easier. You can help by creating products that solve real challenges. You can help by connecting people who would benefit from knowing each other. You can help by being a voice of encouragement and inspiration for those who are discouraged. There are thousands of ways to help, and each one can become a source of income when done with excellence and integrity. And you know what's most beautiful? When you prosper by helping others, your wealth never comes with guilt or a weight on your conscience. Comes with satisfaction and purpose. You know you deserve every penny because you are genuinely adding value, improving lives, making a difference. And that brings a peace and joy that money earned in any other way doesn't bring. In the coming months, you will begin to see opportunities to serve that are also opportunities to prosper. Don't separate these two things in your mind. Don't think you have to choose between doing good and earning well. You can and should do both. In fact, doing both is what guarantees sustainability. Because if you only focus on making money without caring about the impact you cause, eventually it will backfire on you. But if you focus on serving well, money comes naturally as a reward for the value you offer. And as your income increases through this path of service, don't forget to expand your capacity to help as well. Use part of your abundance to make a difference in the lives of those in need. This can be through donations, offering your services for free to those who cannot afford them, volunteering as a mentor, or investing in social projects. The format doesn't matter as much as the intention. What's important is that you always keep this cycle of receiving and giving, of being blessed and being a blessing active. Truth 9. Divine patience will guarantee permanent results. Aquarius, I need to talk to you about something very important that can make the difference between fleeting prosperity and lasting abundance. And that something is divine patience. We live in a time where everyone wants instant results, where people expect to get rich overnight, where patience and persistence are lacking. But the most solid riches, the ones that truly remain and multiply over time, are those built with patience. And God is teaching you now to have this kind of patience, because He doesn't want to give you just a temporary blessing. He wants to establish lasting prosperity in your life. This means that some things will happen quickly, but others will require time. Some doors will open immediately, but others will require you to keep knocking. Some seeds will sprout in days, but others will need months to germinate. And all of this is part of the perfect plan, because if everything came too quickly, you wouldn't have time to develop the maturity necessary to manage abundance. If all the doors opened at the same time, you wouldn't know which one to enter first. If all the seeds sprouted at once, you wouldn't be able to properly care for them all. So divine patience is actually a protection, a way to ensure you are ready for each level of blessing you receive. Aquarius by nature can be a little impatient. You have a quick mind full of ideas wanting to see things happening. And this dynamic energy of yours is wonderful and will serve you very well in many aspects of your journey to prosperity. But you need to balance it with the ability to wait when waiting is necessary. You need to learn to trust in divine timing, which is always perfect, even when it doesn't correspond to your ideal time. How to do this in practice? First, you stop measuring your progress only by visible and immediate results. You start to value inner growth, lessons learned, skills developed, connections made, because all of this is part of the process of building sustainable abundance. Second, you celebrate small advances. You don't just wait for big milestones to feel good about your progress. You recognize and appreciate every step taken in the right direction, however small it may seem. This keeps your energy positive and your motivation high. Third, you maintain consistent action even when results take time to appear. You keep planting seeds, keep watering, keep caring, trusting that the harvest will come in due time. Because if you stop acting because you're not seeing immediate results, then you'll never see any results at all. And fourth, you use the waiting periods to prepare yourself better. You learn more about financial management. You develop your skills further. You expand your mindset. You strengthen your faith. In this way, when the blessings arrive, you are more than ready to receive and multiply them. There is a divine promise regarding your financial life, Aquarius. And God's promises never fail, but they are fulfilled in His time, not ours. Sometimes He delays a blessing not because He doesn't want to give it to you, but because He wants to give it to you in an even better way than you were expecting. Sometimes He closes a door not to deny you, but because there is a better door further ahead. Trust the process. Trust the timing. Trust that everything is unfolding perfectly, even when you can't see the whole picture. And while you wait, keep doing your part. Keep being faithful in small investments, small actions, and small correct decisions, because it is faithfulness in the little things that qualifies you to receive the big things. It is patience in the small waits that prepares you for the great harvests. Truth number 10. The best is yet to come and will exceed your expectations. And we've arrived at the last truth, Aquarius, but by no means the least important. In fact, this may be the most exciting truth of all. Because no matter how good things you've heard so far, no matter how excited you are about the possibilities, no matter how big your dreams of abundance are, I need to tell you something. The best is yet to come, and it will surpass all your expectations. God is not limited by your imagination. He can do infinitely more than anything you can ask or think. And He has plans for your financial life that are bigger, better, more glorious than you can conceive at this moment. You may be thinking about having enough to pay the bills comfortably, but God is thinking about abundance that allows you to live your dreams. You may be expecting a gradual improvement, but God may be preparing a complete turnaround. You may be visualizing a comfortable future, but God may be architecting an extraordinary future. Don't limit divine power with your small expectations. Dare to dream bigger. Dare to believe in possibilities that seem impossible. Dare to expect miracles. Because you serve a God of miracles, and He specializes in making the impossible happen. Aquarius, you've always been someone who thinks big, who isn't content with mediocrity, who dreams of things others consider fantasies. And this capacity for expanded vision is exactly what God will use now. He will take those big dreams you have and make them a reality in ways that will leave you amazed. In the coming years of your life, you will look back and won't believe the transformation. You will remember how things were before and marvel at how they are now. You will realize that everything has changed and changed for the better. And you will recognize that it wasn't luck, it wasn't chance, it wasn't just your effort. It was the hand of God working powerfully in your favor. But for the best to come, you need to be open to receiving more than you were expecting. You need to be willing to let go of your small plans to embrace God's big plans. You need to release control and trust that He knows better than you what is good for your life. This doesn't mean being passive. It means staying active with flexibility, acting with determination but remaining open to divine adjustments along the way. And it also means being prepared to handle success when it arrives. Because sometimes people ask for abundance but are not emotionally, mentally, or spiritually prepared to handle it when it comes. They start to feel guilty, or they are afraid of losing everything, or they don't know how to manage it. So start now to prepare yourself internally for the level of prosperity you are asking for. Imagine yourself already living in that reality. How would you behave? How would you spend your money? How would you help others? How would you keep your feet on the ground? How would you use your abundance for greater purposes? The more you prepare internally, the easier the external transition is when the blessings arrive. And believe me, they will arrive. I don't know if it's possible. I don't know when. Only how much will surpass what you were expecting. Because the universe is ready to surprise you in wonderful ways. So keep your heart open, your mind expanded, your faith strong, and your hands outstretched. Abundance is coming. Wealth is on its way. Prosperity is manifesting. And the best is yet to come. If this message resonated with your zodiac sign, trust me, it's no coincidence. When the universe wants to speak to you, it sends exactly the right signal. And you're here because you needed to hear this today. Your contribution as a subscriber or member is what keeps these messages alive. Messages that touch, awaken, and transform lives. And if this video made sense to you, leave your birth date in the comments. Aquarius, we've reached the end of this video, but by no means have we reached the end of your journey to abundance. In fact, we're only at the beginning. Everything you've heard here isn't just pretty words or empty promises. These are spiritual truths about the powerful moment you're experiencing. God is truly predicting wealth and abundance for your life. The heavens are truly aligning in your favor. Doors are truly opening. And you will truly prosper in ways that will completely transform your reality. But now that you've received this information, you have a responsibility. The responsibility to act on what you know. To trust what has been revealed. To move towards the opportunities that will appear. Because knowledge without action changes nothing. But knowledge with action changes everything. So I challenge you to do something today. Something small, something symbolic, but something that demonstrates your faith in the abundance that is coming. It could be making a financial decision you've been putting off. Could be starting that project you've had in mind. It could be contacting someone to propose a partnership. It could be investing in something that will develop your talents. It can simply be declaring aloud that you accept and receive divine abundance in your life. Whatever it is, do something. Because when you take the first step in faith, the universe meets you on the path and takes you much further than you could go alone. And always remember, you are not on this journey alone. God is with you, guiding every step. The universe is conspiring in your favor, opening every door. Your angels and spiritual guides are working behind the scenes, preparing every detail. And I am also here, creating this content to support you, encourage you, and remind you of the spiritual truths that we sometimes forget in the rush of daily life. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, subscribe now and activate the notification bell. Because every week I bring messages like this, which will help you stay connected to your purpose, your faith, your journey of abundance. And if these messages have touched your heart, if they have made a difference in your life, consider becoming a channel member or making a contribution. Every bit of support, no matter how small, is what allows this work to continue, what allows these messages to continue reaching people who need to hear exactly this at the right time. Aquarius, the divine prediction of wealth and abundance for your life is not a distant possibility. It's a present certainty. Start living like someone who is already blessed because you are. Start acting like someone who is already prosperous because you are becoming so. Start giving thanks for the abundance you don't yet see, because it's already on its way. And very soon, you'll be back here sharing in the comments testimonies of everything that has manifested in your life. I believe in you. God believes in you. And the universe is working tirelessly to prove to you that you have always been worthy of all the abundance that exists. So be it, and so it is.